Derivatives are an important tool which keeps the U.S. Treasury markets liquid and healthy, and I'm glad that prudential regulators have acknowledged that with their new Basel proposal. And I'm going to start first with Mr. Cranston. We've discussed today how the Basel reproposal alleviates many challenges that were posed by the 2023 proposal for banks' use of derivatives. So where could the current proposal improve to better support the derivatives market?
Thank you. I would first just want to highlight again that the Basel reproposal is a significant step forward for central clearing and for the ability for FCMs and prime brokers to be able to support that increased demand, as well as continue to support the entire derivatives landscape. So I think significant progress has been made on that, and look forward to continued process of prudential rulemaking. I think an additional area that could have further benefit for derivatives is recognizing the cross-product netting within derivatives, as well as the cross-margining aspect, and ensuring that those risk-reducing attributes are reflected properly in risk-based capital measures.
Thank you. I'm going to move to Mr. Duffy here. The SEC recently approved the Intercontinental Exchange and Chicago Mercantile Exchange as Treasury clearinghouses. And before, only the Fixed Income Clearing Corporation was an approved clearinghouse. So can you explain why competition in the Treasury clearinghouse space is important?
Well, I think competition is important no matter where it's at. And in my earlier comments when I was referring to the Treasuries being cleared in another country, I'm a big believer that they're a clear them in the United States, I have no issue. But I just want to have everything on a level playing field. As it relates to clearing of cash treasuries, my concern has always been I don't want to have to get ready the day the mandate kicks in. So I've been prepared to do this for several years now, working with the SEC and my team to put forth an option, I'll call it an option, Mr. Chairman, in order to make sure that if in fact the FICC is not prepared to do clearing of cash treasuries, CME will be prepared. But right now they are a partner of mine. We are extending benefits throughout the system. We want to continue to do so, but we will invest to make sure, just in case that doesn't continue, we will be ready.
What sort of efficiencies would you expect with this increase in competition?
I don't know. The efficiencies are dramatic already. FIC today, in CME, is about $1.5 billion of margin offsets that we share between our futures products and their cash. We think there'll be additional with the add-on of the client efficiencies going forward. Having another clearinghouse to replicate exactly what's going on today, I'm not sure if there's more efficiencies. I just think it gives users an opportunity to use different platforms, and I think that's important.
All right, thank you. I'm going to move to Mr. McPartland. In 2023, the SEC adopted rules which mandated that a larger portion of Treasury securities transactions be centrally cleared. And me, as a small government conservative, I never like to see the word mandate. So are government mandates, in your opinion, the right approach here?
It's a great question, and it is important to point out that the Treasury market has evolved organically in a pretty impressive ways, right? So we've moved from a phone-based market to a very electronic market that, as I pointed out earlier, handles routinely over $1 trillion a day in transactions. So I think that's an incredible step forward for a market that's sort of been allowed to flourish. That said, this clearing mandate, if implemented sort of reasonably and with input of market participants, there are benefits there. We've talked about a lot of them today. I think it's just important that we take a common sense approach and we implement this in line with other markets where we've seen success and we know what works.
Right, and Dodd-Frank mandated clearing and margin for most swap contracts. So given that swaps can be an effective tool to hedge risk, can these mandates discourage the use of hedging as banks might be hesitant to take an increased cash flow risk?
The process to get to where we are now from back in 2008 was a long one, as I'm sure you know. And the ultimate rules, I think it's hard to argue that the interest rate swap market is not a better place, or I should say it is a better place today than it was before. That said, again, we don't want to go too far. We do not want to discourage hedging, of course.
Right.
But where banks will look for the most efficient way to deploy their capital and manage their risk.
And briefly, what would the Treasury market look like without central clearing?
The market does continue to function, as I said, quite well and continue to grow. That said, a lot of the discussion about sort of risk offsets are really, really important. And we want to encourage bank participation. So there is a cost to mandated clearing. There's no question. But we do hope and expect that ultimately the benefits will outweigh those costs.
Right. Thank you. I've run out of time.